let's pop on Ilayda, Samilgil, and Rob Shepherd from Cornell University taking part of the NFL First and Future event. They're giving out over $150,000, Ralph, in funds and startup money for these select companies such as Organic Robotics, who we're happy to have with us here today. I think 4 or 5 companies have been selected for the finalists, which I believe the event does air on NFL Network at 8 p.m. So there's not a lot of pregame, but they are going to cover it in some capacity. We're going to dive deep into the Organic Robotics team who joins us here today. Rob, Ilayda, welcome into the show. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'll start off with you, Ilayda. If you can, I tried to give it my best to the listening audience in terms of what the event all entails. If I'm missing out any important details, please feel free to clue in our listening audience, and then dive into, your company, how you guys got involved with this, and some of the things, cool things you guys are doing.
Thank you. I think you covered it pretty well. The event airs tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on NFL Network. We hope everyone will tune in and cheer for us. And on our company, we are a Cornell-based startup. We're licensing our technology from Cornell, actually from Rob's lab. So we have him on our company team as well, which is great. But basically, we are a sensor company. We have these stretchable and soft sensors that are made out of these thin fibers that we make. And these sensors can sense light. So we shine light through them, and then we just we observe the behavior of the light and how it travels through our fibers. And that gives us information on how a person is moving, how their muscles are reacting, and also how they're breathing. So if you combine this information on the field, you can not only prevent injuries, but you can also improve their performance in the long term. Because everyone is different, and our technology provides the trainers with the knowledge to make sure the training is individualized for each player. And how you use it, this technology, our fibers, we integrate them into clothes. So we're thinking upper body garments, compression garments, lower body garments, socks, or even helmets to look at different muscle groups and different areas of the body.
That's fascinating. So essentially we're using light sensors to kind of measure players' fatigue, maybe prevent injuries, or if they're coming back from an injury, realize, hey, this guy might not be ready yet. So I would imagine that this is not only a great tool for the week of practice, but do you guys envision your technology actually being used in-game?
So both are correct and areas that we're looking into. So you can use it in-game, you can use it during training, and you can also use it to monitor the rehab process to improve the physical therapy. So because it's also comfortable and don't really interfere with the motion of the athlete, we can do all these things in different parts of the training system.
And I want to make sure my super producer behind the scenes, Samantha, saying I'm butchering your name. It is Ilayda, right?
Ilayda is actually pretty good.
Pretty good. All right, so we're getting there. So our producer behind.
I'll take it.
Samantha, I had some pre-communication here, trying to get it on par. But Ilayda, Samilgil, Rob Shepherd, Organic Robotics, game-changing technology here, Ralph. NFL First and Future presented by Amazon. The winning team, I believe, get $50,000 in grant. The runner-up gets $25,000. In total, $150,000 will be awarded to these several companies. And we got the New York team on the State of Football here, represent from the tri-state area. Ralph and myself in New Jersey, you guys in New York. Ralph, what do you got for the Organic Robotics crew?
No, fascinating stuff. It ceases to amaze me, all of the technological advancements surrounding the game of football. It seems like there's something new every week. But I would be interested to know from maybe Rob some of the more science behind the actual science behind the crafting of these garments.
Well, we based it off of telecommunications. Fiber optic cables are how you're getting your cable internet right now that we're using. But that's made of glass. You can't stretch it. It wouldn't be good to wear. We made fiber optic cables out of rubber and out of the same material clothing is made of. So you can integrate these fibers into clothes, transmit data, and sense motion from it. And then with that data, we're going to do things like hopefully give Tom Brady another year.
Don't tell me you're a Patriots fan.
I was at Harvard for a while, so gonna.
Who booked this guy? Who got this guy on this? Come on.
Ralph is mourning over here with his Buffalo Bills fandom. So tell me about the kind of trial and process situation here. Like, obviously you had to test this out on something. Was it the Cornell football team? Was it the athletics team? How did you go about kind of testing out this technology, ensuring that it works? What was that process like?
In my lab, we've done a fair amount of human studies on joint motion and interaction pressures. But what is meaningful, if we can win this competition, is it'll hopefully validate for the NFL and other football teams that they should be working with us so that we can gather data so our models can not just tell them what the kinematics are, but what predictive models for when they're going to injure themselves. So that's one of the biggest things we're hoping to get out of this competition.
Yeah, and I would imagine, one area where this could benefit tremendously is with the combine training process, right? There's training facilities all over the country right now trying to gauge this kind of information, and you guys already have the technology to do it. So I would imagine that the training facilities that are prepping these guys from college to the NFL would want to use this. I mean, it's like a full-time job, 8 hours a day leading up to the NFL draft. These guys are training, preparation. So I think there's going to be a lot of different layers, a lot of different avenues and opportunities for you guys to kind of crack this market, not only from a playing standpoint, but a preparation and training standpoint. And so, Ilayda, I'll go back to you. What would you hope if you guys do win this event tomorrow on NFL Network at 8 p.m., you get the $50,000. What is the next step for Organic Robotics?
The next step, as Rob briefly described, is to test our product with more people, whether they're in the pro level or college or even high school. So that's one of the things we have scheduled for the rest of the year. And also we want to work on lower body garments as well, because there are a lot of injuries going on in the lower body as well. So that's another thing we'll be working on. And also, just to add to your point, it might even be better for like high school kids or before that, because that's when they like set their motions. It's harder to change it when they grow up. So if we can get this readily available for kids, we can make sure they're doing the right motions at the right time. So when they get older, that when they still do the same motion, they won't get injured because their bodies will have memorized to do it correctly. So definitely on our radar. It's a big market, and we believe we can provide a solution for all these different sub-markets of this sports performance area.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we've got trainers, we've got coaches tuned in, watching the show. You guys heard them, especially if you're on that youth level. This is not just a pro technology. This is going to infiltrate into all levels of the football community. We're bringing it to you first here on the NFL Draft Bible, the state of football, your new home. For real football talk in the mornings. Who brings you inside technology like me? We've got the Organic Robotics crew from Cornell University. Make sure you tune in. NFL Network tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. Our guys from Cornell are bringing it home. Last one, Ralph.
No, I just want to wish them the best of luck in the competition, and thanks for sharing this with us. I had no idea that this type of technology even existed. I noticed that the NFL had been using tracking devices on players for a couple of years now, but to have that woven into the clothing and be so intimate, that's a new one. So thanks for sharing this with us, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And also, Ralph is the co-commissioner of the Northeast Conference. So if you want to get out of the Cornell laboratory and onto the playing field, there's your connection right there. The co-commissioner, Ralph Ventry, dropping the knowledge, guys. But we look forward to your technology. Rob, I'll let you bring it home and close us out here. For any coach, industry professional, people that just want to learn more about your company, tell everybody at home where they can find Organic Robotics. Give us the website, give us the Twitter handle, social media, all that good stuff.
OrganicRoboticsCorp.com is our website. Actually, Ilayda knows more about the social media stuff than I do. But if you go to OrganicRoboticsCorp.com, it's all there.
All right, there you have it, organicrobotics.com. Ilayda, Samilgil, Rob Shepherd, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck. I'll be tuned in rooting for our Cornell people to bring it home.
Thank you.
Make us proud, guys. Thank you so much.